Hey friends, welcome to today's live stream. Lately we've been focusing on the SP404, which don't worry, is right off to the side, but I wanted to do something different. And so I posted a poll. It was Koala, Digitact, and PO33. And you all love some Koala, and I don't blame you because it's awesome. So that's what we're gonna do today. I wanna go over my sampling workflow because over in my podcast Discord channel where we do monthly sample challenges, and this month everybody's supposed to flip the same sample. So I made a couple samples in Logic using the session players, and this is what we've got. It's a little funky, a little warbly, a little drunk maybe, but I think what we'll do is chop up the drums, chop up a couple sounds from the bass and the synth. There's no lead, so I did throw the lead that we made with Sound Generator on the SP from the last live stream. That's in here if we want to throw something in. But I also posted a poll over here. How do you start your beats with drums or samples? And actually right now the winner, it's only 5 votes because I just posted it before we started, is drums, which is interesting. I know that is a typical way to do it. I'd be curious to hear why you start with whichever you do choose. 2Rug says, I can't start beats with drums. It feels weird. Interesting. So you always start with the sample. You chop the sample up, and then Carlos is waving. What's going on, Carlos? Welcome. So yeah, I'd love to hear whatever you vote on. Why do you start with that? Is it just the way you always do it, or is there some reason to get the vibe? I typically start with a drum beat, but today I actually want to find a chord and then use the chromatic mode in here to do something a little bit different. So that's what we'll start with. So I don't like that first one. That third one I think is the one I want. I just want to get out some of the previous chord that's in there, so we'll add some attack. And we'll just go to, let's say, here. That should work. And then what we'll do is, let's just start. Okay, I already like that note. So I think since we're in pentatonic, we should be able to get a pretty easy chord progression doing this. Let's see. I already like that. I'm just seeing what other kind of, if we go up and down in the octave, what we get. That sounds cool too. But I like that. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. Let's put that in. Let's do 1 bar, and we just have to record it. Or we might need 2 bars, actually. Let's see. But we'll turn on the click track. We're working at 112 BPM because that is what the drum sample is in, this whole track. If we do one-shots of the drums, we can change the BPM. Even if we don't, we can always time stretch it or something. But that's what we'll do. Look, the poll's changing. We got 8 votes now. Drums, 75%. That's crazy. 2Rug says, sample or just noodle around on piano to get an idea. Drum works best when they're playing around what you already have, in my opinion. That is interesting. I also originally am a guitarist, so I kind of like having the drums as the bass, and then I can build the rhythms around the guitar. So I understand both. Grant says, I click drum because that's my current go-to. Drums are fun, but I often start with sounds or textures first, if the mood. I think this just feels right. There's a little heart emoji from the what I'm trying to read it on. But yeah, I hear it. There's no wrong way. I just wanted to see where everybody's at. I think it's good to try all the different ways and see what clicks best for you. But anyways, let's put this in. That's not, I'm not hearing the, oh, that's because I'm in the drums. Yeah, I clicked the drums. So we got to get back out, go here. Okay, here we go. There we go. That did not quantize right, so we're going to fix that. Just put that over there. There we go, perfect. Okay. Now, what I don't like is there's some tail that, like, there's a bit missing in that sample from at the end of the long held one. So we could either stretch it, but that's going to make it a little wonky. Or we can try and extend it, which is catching a little bit of that previous note. So let's just hear how that sounds. That's perfect. There we go. And then I'm going to just alter the end so that there's a little space. Sometimes leaving some space once we start filling in the drums and stuff like that is going to be make it a little more interesting and complex. So let's go. I think we'll double this up. To start, let's just hear what those drums sound like on top of it as a loop. So that works. I kind of like that. Matthew asks, where did this sample come from? It's from me. I made it in Logic Session Drummers, but it's part of my podcast Discord challenge. We do monthly challenges. I forgot to put a link in the description, but I will at the end. That's my bad. I was rushing. I had to deal with my 1-year-old this morning, so didn't get into it to get there. But I had to set up. But yeah, I'll post the link in the description and in a comment after this video ends. But yeah, we do monthly challenges over there. But these are all session drummers. And then I'll be putting all the samples we make, the start ones, and then whatever we make up for Solar Sailor tier channel members. So if you want those too, you can check it out. I'll read a couple more of the comments in a second. I just want to talk a little bit about these drums. So we're at 112 BPM. 4 on the floor is a lot of fun. These drums are grooving. I like that. But we could also do kind of the slower, we could take one shots of these drums and do more of a beat or something. So I'm going to do the one shots really quick just to show you how I do it when you get a sample that has a lot of content on top of everything and stuff like that. But we may stick with that 4 on the floor because I'm kind of feeling it. I'm doing a lot of like beats. So I kind of want to do maybe like a lo-fi house or something, but we'll see. So let's go and start chopping this up. So we've got the drums. The first thing, we got a kick right at the start. So we can just move this over. And there's our kick. We may want to fix a little bit of that space at the start. There's a kick. And then I'll show you some filtering and EQ and stuff you can do too. There's a lot in the higher end. So if we want to, we could make it more kind of like boomy right there. But I am going to take a little bit of the high end out. And then if we wanted to kind of shape the mid-range, we could, depending on, this is kind of more once the track starts to come together. But we've got that. Now let's move this here and we'll go over here and let's find, we got 2 hi-hats right there. You can see the 2 different waveforms. So let's get one of each. And then we might do one together because sometimes if we do change BPM, having the combo that's a little off time from the BPM you're now in sounds really cool. It adds like a bit of swing and stuff like that. So let's go there. I'm also going to put this one a little off start. Just gives it a little more, we're adding groove without maybe intentionally doing it. All right, now we need a snare. And I can tell you one of these huge waveforms is a snare. But here's the problem we're going to run into. It's a 4 on the floor. So there's a kick on the snare. So let's see if there's any fills that have just snares. And I'm going to look right at the end because I added in the session player when I was making it, the fill level. Which if you're not familiar with session players, let me know in the chat. But it's basically you can program, they call it AI. I'm not sure it's AI in Logic. But you can program drums and chords and stuff like that. But that's, you can add fill levels that adds varying fills and things like that. So let's check out what we've got at the end here. So there's still a kick on that one, but near the end I heard a couple of, there's a couple snares right there. So let's grab that. There we go, perfect. There's a snare. And I'm gonna look at the EQ because I hear, look right here, that little like tinny sound. I'll amplify it. I'm gonna take some of that out. Just a little bit. Now I wish I could get more than 3 band because I would probably take a little bit of this low end out, but I am gonna cut some of this out. Okay, so there we go. Now there's a couple other sounds that we've got in this end part. I'm gonna move this one up so we can clear this for drums. Let's check out what we've got over here. A little cowbell. Always gotta have some cowbell. Let's see what else we've got. Is that a tom? That's a hi-hat. I heard a tom somewhere. There's 2 toms. So we don't know what we're going to make yet. We've got that chord progression, but let's just see where it goes. So we're going to get chords, or not chords, toms. So you never know. So now we've got the beats, and if we wanted to, like I said, we've got, I think we're in patterns, but somewhere we have all of our samples over on the SP, but for some reason I'm not hearing it. So we're not going to worry about it. And there we go. Okay, so now we've got our drums. So let's kind of play that part and see what we're feeling. The slow's all right, but I kind of feel that 4 on the floor. I'm going to read a couple of chats while we decide. If you've got an opinion, let me know. But basically, if we want to do 4 on the floor, we can either use the loop we've got or do something on top. That's not 4 on the floor. That would be if we want to do 4 on the floor. Something like that. I'm thinking like 3 things ahead. So yeah. Let's see what we've got in the chat and let me know what you guys think. 4 on the floor or more of a boom bap type thing. We'll change the BPM if that's the case. Let's see the chat. We've got Emo Brunch Mix. Lovely name. I love that, dude. I fall into drums first only because I'm a drummer first, but I find flipping it up to melody or samples first makes me more creative. I bet there's something to that for sure. It's whatever kind of you're used to. Changing it up is going to lead to some different endings, right? Because it's just completely different. So it's novel, which makes total sense. That's why I wanted to start. I usually start with drums, so I wanted to start with this melody. And now we can kind of feel, because we've got a part, we can kind of decide how we want the drums to suit the part rather than the part to suit the drums. But yeah, there's so many ways to flip this idea too. I just went quickly to the one-shot idea with the chromatic, but we could have taken more or started with the bass or something. Carlos says boom bap. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of feeling that 4 on the floor right now. And Carlos says, how many bars of drums do you use? It really just depends on the track. I made this 4 bars. I could make it 2 and then loop it up, or 1 bar. Doesn't really matter. And yeah, I agree, Dichotomos. Finger drumming on Koala isn't the greatest, especially when you have the 404 right there linked. The pads on the 404 are awesome. Yeah, I agree. I don't want to use the 404 today because I've been using it for the last like 2 or 3 videos. And for some reason, I'm not getting sound from the pads, even though it's synced, so I'd probably have to figure that out. I also don't want to rearrange the camera. So that's why also I wanted to show you how I chop the samples, but I'm kind of feeling this loop. And I think if we make it 8 bars, we could have that fill at the end too. That's a lot of bars. The only issue then if we do, what's it called? This loop, if we want to do dropouts and stuff like that, we can't. So it's probably better that we at least program something in. So I'll tell you what, let's start. I see people talking about 4 on the floor. I'm with you, Matthew, and Emo Brunch Mix says that 4 on the floor could lead to, but it doesn't finish. So let me know what you were saying, Emo Brunch. But yeah, some sick ghost wave, chill wave textures. Yeah, I think we'll do the 4 on the floor. There's so many ways to flip, and you can always try multiple ways and stuff, but I'm kind of feeling the 4 on the floor. But I do think, we're going to program something in maybe. I really like this loop though. I'm just thinking when we start playing the track, we might want to drop out the kick and stuff like that. So let's just put in some 4 on the floor and go from there. I'm a little off. Hopefully Quantize is to the rescue on that one. Yeah, that was a little off, but we might like that. Okay, let's just fix that manually. Let's go the lazy man's route and just fix that manually. And we'll be good. Should be every... Let's hear how that sounds. We don't want that one. Or do we want that one? Yeah, we do. Could add some groove later. I'm going to keep it simple right now, and then we'll just go from there. I'm going to lower the velocity there, and then put one there. we'll see what happens. Yeah, dichotomos, I agree. They say there are some glitches with the 404 and Koala link setup. I find that unplugging and replugging fixes it. Yeah, I've had to do that in multiple live streams. Again, I'm not really feeling using the SP right now. I want to stick with Koala. But yeah, you do run into the pad limitations of this. And it is nice when it's right there. If we really need it, we will. We might even go to sound generator in a bit. Also interesting to see, as we've gotten more votes on that poll I posted, drums is now just 50%, sample 40%. So again, or 53%. I'd love to hear whichever way you start. If you're new on the stream, if you come late, well, welcome. But let us know why you prefer that method, and then we'll go from there. It's just interesting to hear everybody's different workflows, because we can all learn something from each other's way of doing things. Yeah, okay. Let's get in some hi-hats. We might change the BPM too. Got a lot of swing. I'm gonna lower the volume of this one. I think we are going to want to up that BPM quite a bit, actually. Let's actually try that real quick. I usually like 112, but I'm kind of feeling maybe like 118. Yeah, I think we're going to want one more hi-hat as well, and I'll tell you why in a second. Let me see what that one sounds like. Let's move that. I totally did not mean to lose that cowbell. Yeah. Let's go up a couple octaves or semitones. And I'm just going to check. That should work. And from there, this is not an iPad mini, if that's what you're asking, Emo Brunch. It's a iPad Air, the M2, one of the newer ones. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Now, what I'm thinking, is maybe something a little more constant. And let's go, there's a way, if we go into here, I'd love to do like 16 level, but I guess we'll just do, I know what we can do actually. I kind of want like straight 16ths that we might, or something. I'm just seeing kind of what we want. Actually, I kind of like what we've got. Let's just throw that in. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Matthew says, I like that cowbell. I know, we'll get in it, don't worry. I want to just build the idea. I was kind of second guessing the hi-hats being a little more wonky and was thinking maybe more like straight. But I think this adds a little character. And once we start adding some effects, it'll work a little better. But I like that. I think raising the BPM worked. Want to add a little ghost note stuff to the snares though. So where are the snares? This? Yeah, okay. Cool. So what we're going to do is put a snare here, really quiet. Hopefully, I mean like really quiet. One more, let's say here and here. Let's see how that sounds. There we go. Okay, a couple more here. And this is just adding a little more groove to the idea. Real quiet in the velocity. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just kind copy that first one over because this is just straight on the grid. I want to take these and let's go copy. I always forget you have to like put it right where you want it. That's not right where we want it. This is, I think, probably not where we want it actually. Here, I think. Nope, that's not where we want it either. Actually, it might be right where we want it there. Perfect, yeah. Okay, and this one got moved, or I deleted it, so we're gonna just add that back in. Real quiet. Matthew, yeah, I don't know. YouTube is so weird with that. Sometimes it shows like different names depending on which account or something. I don't know. It's very weird. But they said driving me nuts that my screen name is just my real name. Yeah, I don't know. I see that sometimes with YouTube comments and stuff. And then like on a comment, it'll say one name. And then when you go to the video, it shows a different one. It's very weird, YouTube sometimes. But they also said I use a Mini and I haven't been able to use my... What is that? AI Unit 4 speakers with it. Maybe it has power limitations. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the Mini. This is the Air, but that's interesting because I think you said next Mini has lightning. Okay, yeah. It could be the USB-C to Lightning or something. You do need certain cables and certain things and stuff. I have that Lightning to old USB, but it doesn't have another charger. Where is it here? You can show it on this one bigger. And that was a nightmare with my old iPad that had Lightning because it would just like drain and then sometimes it wouldn't work and stuff. But now that it's just USB-C, it's nice in that regard. Anyways, let's go from there. Did I miss anybody's chat? I don't know if I read this, but no, Dichotomos I read, I think. I think that's everybody's. Okay, let's get that cowbell in and see. And I love seeing that poll keep changing. So again, if you're new and you're voting on it, just let us know why you start with whatever you chose. It's interesting to hear all that. Okay, cowbell. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's get that in. We need a cowbell at the start though. Okay, I'm gonna add one more. This is why I didn't want to just use that loop. Because now we can do so much more to it, and change it around and stuff like that. And then when we want to drop out like the kick, we can. We don't have to just do like some kind of filter thing where you're still hearing the clickiness of it or something. Like we can just remove it from it. Okay, so we've got the cowbell again. I'm gonna just see. Typically with something like the Digitact, I can do this real quick, but the sampler on here is a little different. But I'm just going to try to make another sound here. We can also try it with that snare. Just get like that first transient. Maybe drop. I'm making kind of percussion from the sounds that we've got. And I think we'll just add those in real quiet. I am getting, it looks like I might be getting some dropouts. I apologize. Had some strange internet issues lately. So if there are some keyframes and stuff, let me know, but there's not much I could do. But it would be good to know if there are. Okay, let's hear what this sounds like. Just something like that. Let's just see what it sounds like. I'll make a duplicate. Maybe it's not going to work. It might be like crazy. But I think quiet, which it's not yet, might just kind of add a little groove. There we go. Okay, I like it. I like it with that part. I do think maybe we'll just take this down just a little bit. Just a little bit. I actually like it kind of prominent. Yeah, that works. Okay, now we got to get a bass. So let's check out Is the SP... I just am curious, like, is the SP... Okay, so these sounds are working. So we're just having issues with the Koala integration, because if I hit on the SP banks, it's working. So I'd probably just have to unplug if we need a sound generator sound, but we're going to do bass first. And we've got this awesome bass part, so I'm going to start with that guy. Let's go to sample. Let's move this over to a new pad, maybe on C. I'm just finding the right note. Maybe this one. Let's try this one. That sounds like it might be where we want it. I'm going to do a one shot and then use chromatic mode. Kind of getting the vibe. Okay, I think we could get something kind of funky going on there. Let's just record something and see what Quantize can do with it, and then we can maybe change it around a little bit. I always, even though you can just delete parts in the piano roll and undo things and stuff like that, I always like to just make new patterns, because it's kind of, you never know, you might just be able to use it as part of the structure later in the jam. I am checking the time because I do have to host a radio show at 11, so we got about 30 minutes left, but I think we're moving in the right direction. Matthew says, I think that bass sounds good. Yeah, it's definitely got... I think we're in the right key with that fourth note from the sample thing. When I made the samples in the session player, I did the bass at a different root note than the chords, because I wanted for everybody making the samples to get some like harmonic complexity and stuff. So I wanted to find the right note now that we're kind of moving it around and doing chromatic mode, and I think we found it. But let's just try something. Something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. We'll get there. Okay, that actually kind of worked. Let's just copy that over and we'll go from there. All right, where is the start? C3, so we'll put it right there. And that just put it completely the wrong spot. Let's hear how that sounds. I want to put this one maybe there. I'm just kind of filling in parts. Let's see what that's like. Oh, that's the wrong note. Hold on. We don't need to blast our ears with the wrong note. Okay, that one just doesn't want to move. So let's just put that there. Too many notes probably, but let's hear it again. Let's put that there. Lower the velocity a lot. It's kind of a lot of notes. Might be too many actually. Maybe remove that one. Now that we have the bass, I'm almost kind of thinking we want to put it at that lower BPM again. We're just going back and forth. But let's see. Let me just copy everything over. And that doesn't want to work, actually. Okay. There's no way to zoom. Oh, there we go. Nope, that just wants to do the same. Okay, so let's just do one at a time then. Let's copy that over. Put it here. Oh, did that wrong. Put it here. Move that up. This should be right, and then we'll copy these up here. And then we might want to just add more to it. So right at the 3rd, or is that the 4th? Well, whatever, we'll see. We'll move it around if we have to. That should work. Okay, that's what it is. I think it's this second note here. Let's put it maybe there. Okay, it's like still a lot. Let's do maybe this. I still think we're like overcomplicating it and we don't need to. That should work. There we go. Let's actually also put maybe this with like a lower velocity. Let's see. And also I think maybe let that one run a little longer. Let's see if we just put it right off. That's what it is too. Some of these notes are longer and we want them more staccato. Nah, I don't like it. Let's just put it back. Let's do that. And let's take that one off for that and go to C. I'm gonna add one more note at the end here. Let's see how that goes. There we go. I like it. All right, I think we got something. That cowbell. I love it. Now, I'm not doing any panning right now because one, we're just doing a live stream, but the SP's in mono, so everything you're hearing is mono, so any panning I make isn't going to do anything, but what I would do is pan all these little percussion parts and the hi-hats all around the stereo field. So if and when I finish this track, like fully, if I wanted to release it or something, I would definitely do a lot of panning and things like that to get everything kind of moving around the stereo field. For now, we're just kind of keeping it simple. Let's check out, I want to show what I was talking about, why I didn't want to do a loop for the drums, and that's going to be for wherever the kick is, which we'll have to find. I don't even see the kick. Where's the kick? The kick is just like not in. That's the bass. This is probably the kick. I don't know why it's acting weird. Let's just remove it and see what happens. Unless we're just in the wrong pattern. Yeah, that is the kick. I don't know why when you play it, it just acts weird. But like Matthew says, the kick can be a little fiddly. So yeah, you do have to persevere. Okay, so this is going to be like a B section or something. And I'm wondering, or just kind of like a pair back. I'm wondering if what we want to do... I'm wondering if we want maybe the straight hi-hat. Yeah. Maybe we could like build that up or something. Emo Brunch says, rock that cowbell offbeat style and get real crazy. Summon Christopher Walken. Yeah, what, Bruce Dickinson, right? Yeah, I hear you. All right, let's get that. I'm going to just do a little hi-hat, and we might remove the other hi-hat in this part. then come back. And this one doesn't have that hi-hat. So even though we could just copy and paste, I'm going to just re-record that part. Okay, so just to show, so we build up the track, get to the drum part with the bass. Here's this dropout. Maybe we'll simplify the bass a little bit here too. And then bring in the big part. Bring the kick back in. Everything moves. Yeah, awesome. See what else we got. Matthew says, something I sometimes do for dynamic panning. Say I want to pan hats that are already sequenced. I will solo hats, resample loop. Only the hats are in the new sample. Oh, that's a good way to do it for sure. I'll play with the pan knob as I'm resampling, and I'll have a loop with dynamic pan. Yeah, automated panning is awesome for hi-hats, having it like move across. You can also use an auto pan effect. I don't know if Koala, we're getting to the Koala effects. We got 20 minutes left, so I think we'll move over to that. We might just throw a lead on after that, but we'll start routing everything through these effects because I want to show you the routing, and then finally internal mastering using the internal effects. But let's see, I want to see, is there an auto pan on here? There is an auto pan. So Matthew, you could even just try the auto pan if you're using Koala. You can just make it. Look at that. Oh man, that's insane. But anything I would put in here right now, you're not going to hear because it's all going into the SP mono, unfortunately. So, but I would give it a try because auto pan's a nice way to do it. But what you're doing is awesome because that's very human in terms of the panning. If you're doing it, even if you automate it, but yeah, you could, if you need to be quick, you could try the auto pan like that. All right, so let's start doing these effects. So I can't remember. I know if you hold edit, you can get all the drums together. I think we didn't even put in the toms yet. But what I want to see is if we have all of them selected, can we get all of them in bus D? Yeah, we can. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So bus D is always my drum channel. I don't want that auto pan though. So we'll get rid of that. And we're going to do bit cooker because I am going to want to go for like a lo-fi house. And we'll go from there. So we'll do that. And let's get there. Okay, so let me solo the drums so you can hear what's going on. So, bit cooker off, a lot of high end. Bit cooker on, gets a little bit of that grit from like a old school sampler and stuff. You can change the mix to kind of vary it up. And we'll go from there. And then I'm going to put on a little EQ if we need it. That's more just like to kind of see what's going on and stuff like that. And then we'll get a compressor. I like to just compress the drums a little bit together. Not a lot. I don't want a high ratio, just a little bit. I'm going to put the attack real low, release real low, so it's happening really quickly. And then sometimes I like to put just a little bit of reverb on there. Or warble, but I'm gonna do reverb if I can find freeverb. Yeah, now it sounds like not good, cranked up, but I'm just putting a little bit to kind of make it sound like the drums are in a room. We don't even need all that size. It changes the tone. All good there. And then if we need it, which I don't know if we will, you can put on a limiter to kind of like make certain sounds blend in a little bit better. I'm gonna mute it and just leave it there for if we need it. Okay, let's go into the chord, which is this one. We'll put that on A. I'm also going to put that little piano note that we might use if we have time into A. And let's go on to A. Okay. And then we're going to start with a filter that I sync the LFO. And we're going to do about, let's say, lower. So what I'm doing here, I have a filter, which I find the low pass filter on this Koala one, it's very fickle with its cutoff. You kind of have to really find the sweet spot for it, especially if you're using resonance. But what I'm going to do is I have the LFO opening and closing the filter just a little bit. So it doesn't show what it's actually doing, but this LFO is moving this around based on the speed and the depth. So if I crank it, you can hear it's like, it's doing crazy things to it. But I just want just a little bit. And maybe we'll do 1 bar. And then I like to find that sweet spot where the filter and resonance start to kind of play together. That's cool. We can always change it later. Then I'm going to add warble. That's making the bass go out of tune a little bit. All right, perfect. And then I think we'll get delay on there. Sync it. Now I would normally probably do a ping pong, but again, we're in mono, so you know what we might want to do too? Sidechain. Not something we can do with the SP still, unfortunately, unless you're doing this koala mix. We'll sidechain it to bus D, which is the drums. Now if I had more buses, I would make it just the kick, but since the kick is usually the loudest part of my drums, you can hit it like that. So you can see it is hitting with other parts, but when that kick hits, it's reducing the most. But if I do start to try to get that extreme sidechain, all the other sounds from the drums are gonna come in. But if we just do a little bit, it's all right. And let's actually do, I don't know if we'll keep that delay. Just want to have a little bit on there. And then lastly, again, I'm going for that lo-fi sound, so I am going to throw BitCooker on. I throw it on basically everything in Koala because I just love what it does. Okay, now, last one we got to put on is wherever the bass is, which I forgot where it is. I think it's on C. Yeah, is this the one? Let's see. Yeah, okay, so we're going to put the bass on bus C, which is convenient because it's in bank C. I already have drive on there. That is what I was intending to do. So we'll leave it at that, and let's hear what it does. So let's lower the output a little. So the excessive drive is making it sound very like fake-ish, but I just want a little drive in there to bring out some character in the higher frequencies of the bass. And then, let's see, we can get an EQ, find an area here that we want to emphasize to get some of the almost picking sound. Now it is a fake bass, it's from a session player in Logic, but we can get some of that like pick sound. And then we might just want to tone down some of that high end so it's not competing with like the hats and stuff. I don't think Koala has a chorus, which I love to put on bass. A flanger probably could work, but we'll leave it at that. Phaser might work. Let's put on some sidechain though. Okay, perfect. Now, those higher notes in that bass are very prominent now, which I'm not the biggest fan of. So let's go in. Those really high notes, these last ones. Let's add a little more human flavor to this bass. Bring this one up just a little bit. That should work. Okay, now that would also mean we'd have to change these two, which is I'm not going to do because that's an excessive amount of work, but what we can do is just delete them and just move this one. And I think all we did here was these two, so we'll just get rid of those. And then the other one was just removing the kick. Now the bass is really loud, so I am going to remove it. All right, and Emo Brunch says, great stuff. I've loved your tutorials for a while. My first live session I've joined. Got to bounce to take the kid to volleyball. Be good. You as well. Thanks for joining. Awesome to have you with us. Hopefully see you in some future live streams. I try to do live streams every other week right at this time. Okay, the last one we want is to take... Actually, we don't even need this one. Let's clear that one out. We'll move this one because we just want to get the kick out. And then I'm going to have to bounce soon as well, unfortunately. There's a lot more I would want to do to this track, and maybe I'll expand on it in a video. But that's all right. We will do a little bit more and then jam out. Okay, here's our little drop section. Another thing we could do, let's make bass only. No melody or sample. Where is that one bass note that I'm hearing? Hold on. There's one note that I'm hearing that I'm just not liking. Let's find that. That's totally glitching out. Okay, it just wants to glitch out. So we're going to not do that then. There we go. Okay. I don't know why that one I'm hearing the wrong note then. Anyways, we'll leave it with that. I do want to see if maybe we can throw a lead on top real quick. Which I know it's not in the right key. Don't worry about that. Let's go into chromatic. Up the octave. Oh, it is up. Okay. Okay, I almost want that on a different bus. Short on time, so we're just going to quickly experiment with this and see what happens. But let's add no filter. Let's go right to the delay. Let's get maybe a quarter. That should work. And then let's go into warble. We'll get some warble on that, and then reverb. Let's see, reverb, freeverb. I always get mixed up because I think reverb, but on Koala, freeverb. Let's hear how that goes. I don't know if I'm feeling that lead. I would probably need to change maybe... Get it louder. It's all about finding the key because we're all over the place with samples and stuff like that in different keys and things like that. I mean, this is a C note, and I think we're way off of C. So you have to find the key. Let's actually go back. Hold on, I have an idea. Yeah, I would really want to add kind of like a pad or something. I don't know if that lead works. So I think, unfortunately, I have to go. We're going to have to call this here. If you want to see how I finish this track, let me know. I'll make a video out of it. So post it in the chat, post it in the comments if you're watching back. We're going to call it here. I'll just do a quick little jam out with the idea, with to kind of look at the parts we have. I appreciate you hanging out. I know this was a little bit truncated. I have that I have to go host a radio show on my mind, so I can't dedicate the time to make this lead, which I'd like to, but I actually really like where this track went, going with that bounce, going with the groove and things like that. But yeah, I wanted to show kind of, if you've just got a bunch of samples, this is a quick way to just get it going. Find a note, you can do chromatic mode, or you can find parts in a sample. We didn't really chop a sample up. That's something I've done in other videos, but find parts in a sample, chop it up, do chromatic mode. You can make some really cool things with just one note even. And then, yeah, experiment with the drum one-shots, take bass notes. Really cool thing would be take some parts of this bass line, up the pitch, and chop it into like shorter segments, but that has different parts. And you can kind of layer that on top, Get some really weird melodic sounds on top. You could even almost turn it into a lead, like pitching it up. And then if you go into, I'll just show you really quick. I can't fit it in though, but if you go choose like a section, right? Like, you know, that, and then make it just, let's say, a bar. And you could throw that on top. Now, that's not the best example. I'm just trying to show something quick, but that's a good way to do it. So, yeah, with that, we'll call it. I appreciate you hanging out. If you want to make the most of Koala Sampler and all the things that I've done today, they're all in my Koala Sampler cheat sheet, which you can find linked in the description. I also put up a mastering cheat sheet, which, I ran out of time to show the master. But basically, all I would do is, if you want it to be more lo-fi, throw a bit cooker on, get an EQ on to do some kind of final EQ touches, compressor, which you just want about 2 decibels of gain reduction, a little reverb, which is a bit controversial for mastering, but if you just put a little bit, it's again like what we did with the drums, capture that room, and then a limiter, which just ups the volume to get it to that professional level. But I have a brand new cheat sheet all about mastering using free effects, but also some effects you can buy and stuff like that. That's also linked in the description. I'll put a link if you want to check out how I do the Koala mastering. I have a video on it, so it's there. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for hanging out. And let's check out this track and see if we can kind of create a quick jam. All right, so I think start with the drums. We can even just solo the drums. Bring it up with like an effect. We can bring in the SP now. So let's see if I can even get it on camera, maybe. We'll bring that up. We'll hold the bass. Yeah, okay, that'll work. Okay, I've got the idea. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you got some value out of this video. Subscribe if you haven't. Videos every other week, live streams every week between that. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gonna take me off so we can show the SP a little bit. Guest appearance, I guess, by the SP. All right, I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. All right, quick little jam there. Again, appreciate you hanging out. It means the world. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.